So to piggyback on my video about whether or not angels are actually feeding on us, there's two other things that I want to talk about associated with this, because it kind of got my brain just twisting in all kinds of different directions. So the first thing is, what if the reason that Lucifer was kicked out of heaven was because he essentially decided he was not going to feed on humans anymore, which basically means he went vegan. Okay? And he thought it was that all these angels were just feeding on humans. Because what if it's like they can, but they don't have to? Or what if they just do? And he's just like, I just don't believe in this anymore. And he decided he's not going to be like the rest. And he was kicked out of heaven. And he doesn't feed on humans. And then the angels started all this propaganda. Because who speaks to humans? Because there's several different types of angels. Okay? In the Bible, there's mentioned several different types of angels. So, since there's multiple types of angels and only one type supposedly speaks to us, they would be the ones that we would get our information from, right? Which means that if they spread propaganda about Lucifer, saying that he was this bad guy and he decided to go against God, what if he didn't actually go against God? What if he went against the other angels for feeding on humans? That's just one. The other thing is I was thinking about Christians in the love and light community. No hate. No hate. Do your thing. However, what if the angels have been in your ears because you're a steady food source? You keep them fed. And especially the love and light community, let's be honest, there's a lot of toxicity, there's a lot of spiritual and emotional bypassing that goes on. Stay in the higher vibrations. Yeah, they want you to stay in the higher vibrations. Call on Archangel Michael. Yeah, they want you to call on Archangel Michael. I just find this topic to be interesting. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying that I necessarily believe in angels being angels, but think about how they're described in the Bible. They're absolutely terrifying. And some things that people brought up that's really interesting is that when they show up, they always say, do not fear me. But they are terrifying when they're described in the Bible. And yeah, they probably say do not fear me partially because like they look pretty terrifying, but they're always described as looking like humans. So if angels really are a bunch of eyeballs just floating around, then what are these things that are showing up looking like humans? Are they trickster spirits? Because that's what somebody else said. Only trickster spirits take your energy. Well, then does that mean a whole bunch of these humanoid looking angels are actually trickster spirits? Nothing against angels. Again, I'm reminding you, nothing against angels. This is just stuff I think about in my spare time. It's crazy, right?